the end results. What did I tell you earlier? You know, earlier in the stream. So, with that being said, as most of us expected, who had any kind of brain, you know, Tank Davis sleeps Frank Martin pretty much in the eighth round. Now, Frank Martin had some success the first half of the fight. I thought he won three out of the first 6 rounds, but Tank started to impose his will, landing hard shots, showing patience, starting to break Frank down with body shots, lead lefts, and then he came with basically he ended the fight. He came with a hook and then a left over the top, and Frank was done. Then he started like when he pimped him up against the ring in the eighth round. You kind of saw the end coming because he basically was pinning him down, holding him with his glove, which is legal, and hitting him. And then eventually, Tank landed the shot, and down went Frank, and then that's pretty much it. But let's just keep it a buck here. Is anybody surprised? We all knew what was coming. We all knew that Frank Martin was in over his head. He wasn't ready for a fight like this. He wasn't ready for a fight like this. So, Tank, I noticed he didn't say who he wanted next, but it looks like Lomachenko is slated for November. And basically the same is going to happen to Lomachenko. But Bob Arum may not make that fight. Or Lomachenko may find a way to pull out of that fight because we all know why. We all know what's going to happen to Lomachenko. We know what's going to happen to Lomachenko. Lomachenko may have some success like early in the fight, but then again, Lomachenko is such a slow starter. So that may play right into Tank's hands because Tank can jump on Lomachenko, and I just think Tank is gonna knock Lomachenko out. And when he knocks Lomachenko out, when I say Tank is gonna be the most hated man, now all of a sudden people are, Tank fans now. But when he knocks out Lomachenko, and you all know why, I'm telling you, all these so-called Tank fans, they gonna turn on him because Lomachenko going to sleep. When I say I say Tank knocks Lomachenko out. I say Tank knocks Lomachenko out probably in 7 rounds. Tank is gonna walk Lomachenko down. One thing Lomachenko can't do, he cannot fight going backwards to save his life. Isn't very good fighting off the ropes, so that's going to play right into Tank's hands. But once Tank gets Lomachenko in the corner, it's going to be nighty-night. And don't be surprised if Lomachenko walks into a shot, but you have to ask yourself, is Bob Arum going to put Lomachenko in the ring with Tank? Do anybody believe? I think after what happened to Frank Martin, Bob Arum may kill that fight. He may say, you know what, Lobo, I'm just not putting you in there with Tank because Lomachenko gonna suffer the same fate that Frank Martin suffered. He gonna suffer the same fate that Ryan Garcia suffered. Right now, there's only one dude that I think, and he gonna have to fight a absolute perfect, damn near flawless fight. There's only one guy I think that can beat Tank Davis, and that's Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson is going to have to fight the perfect fight. But the problem is, once again, Tank don't respect people. He don't respect people that don't have no power. Shakur is a very skillful fighter, but the problem is, can he handle Tank's power? But Shakur right now is the only dude that I think can beat Tank. And even if they fight, Tank still probably will be the favorite because of his power. I mean, Frank Martin didn't really have the power. Once again, okay, what did I tell you guys when this fight first got made? Nobody was asking for this fight. Now the Tank fans are gonna come after me. I know I'm a hater. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. I'm prepared for all that, but I'm just telling the truth. Frank Martin didn't really have the punching power, to keep Tank off. Now he did some nice stuff. He did landed some nice combos. He bothered Tank a little bit. I know Tank said he wasn't bothered by, but he was bothered by Frank Martin's combination punching and his body punching. And there was a couple of shots that I seen Frank land that I think bothered Tank a little bit. Didn't hurt him, bothered him. And then Tank started to have his mouth open, which means he might have been getting a little fatigue. And I think Tank decided, I better step on the gas and get this dude out of here, because you don't want it to go to the last few rounds. So, you know. So, oh, all right, appreciate it. But as I said before, the fight went exactly how I thought it would go. So, you know, but did anybody believe that, for real, y'all? Did anybody believe that Frank Martin was going to win this fight? I mean, he was doing good as Frank Martin could do, but at the end of the day, this is a typical Tank. This is a typical Tank fight. Tank broke him down. He walked him down. He imposed his will. Tank is super strong, and eventually that was just nighty night. Oh yeah, the inevitable. We already knew what was coming. I mean, come on, man. Did anybody really think that? Did anybody really believe that Tank was gonna win this fight? I mean, let's be logical. Let's be truthful. And like I said before, I know the Tank fans are gonna come in here in full thrust and, hey man, hey Tim, man, why don't you stop hating on Tank, man? Yo, just jealous. What is there to be jealous of? I'm not a professional fighter. Tank is old enough to be my damn son. So knock it off, man. Knock it off. Okay? Stop it. I was 20 years old when Tank was born. So stop it. Tank old enough to be my damn son. There ain't nothing to be jealous of. But you know, that's what stupid people gonna say. Like I said, it's gonna be tough. I just gotta keep it a buck. It's gonna be tough for anybody. Like I said before, it's gonna be tough for anybody from 135 to 140, maybe even 147, to deal with Tank, because he is, as Triple H say, he is that good, whether you like him or not. But I am happy for Gary Anton Russell losing. Yeah, and Gary Anton Russell, I'm glad you lost, and y'all can send it to him. That's what you get for doing all that cooning and sitting up here making excuses. So you lost to a dude that popped dirty. You can't make this shit up. When I say you can't make this shit up, that's what you call karma. So I guess his skills, PED skills paid the bills, because now you got your first L and you got dropped. That was a flat out knockdown, and the referee should have counted it. But you lost anyway. I'm so disappointed in them. To where, to just see them just basically not showing no unity and support for, Devin Haney. But that's black people for you. As the saying goes, we've been made. People see it's easy to turn. People see that black people don't stick together. I mean, everybody see it. But it is what it is. But as far as the fight go, what's next for Tank? It appears that Lomachenko is next. But I'm keeping it a buck. The question is, after what happened tonight, is Bob going to sacrifice Lomachenko? At the end of the day, Devin Haney, he defeated Lomachenko. He beat him, but he didn't knock him out. And then it was somewhat of a controversial fight. Some people thought Lomachenko won. I didn't think Lomachenko won. But let me tell you something. Tank, he's going to brutally knock out Lomachenko. But what's going to happen is, when Tank knocks out Lomachenko, people are going to say, well, they should have fought 5 years ago. When I say these bandwagon Tank fans is gonna turn on him when he sleeps Lomachenko ain't lasting 7 rounds with, you know what I'm saying? He's not lasting 7 rounds with Tank. And he's gonna get dropped sometime in the fight. If Jorge George Linares can drop Lomachenko, what the fuck you think Tank gonna do to him? I know exactly what punch Tank is gonna drop Lomachenko with. He gonna drop him with that same shot that he dropped Ryan with. Or he gonna drop Lomachenko with a body shot. Lomachenko do not, when I say Lomachenko's Achilles heels is body shots. And all Tank is gonna do, he's gonna hit rack Lomachenko to the body, he's gonna weaken Lomachenko. And then around the 5th round, he's gonna start walking Lomachenko down. And then he's gonna pin Lomachenko up against the ropes, and he's gonna unleash those combinations. Lomachenko is gonna have to fight. He gonna have to fight like similar to how he fought George Kambosos Jr. But the problem is he was jumping in and out. But I don't think that jumping in and out is gonna work on Tank, because Tank, as you can see, he is strong as hell. He's gonna press Lomachenko. He's gonna pressure Lomachenko. He's gonna push Lomachenko backwards, and he's gonna be trying to tee off on Lomachenko. Eventually, Lomachenko is gonna get hit with something. And the thing is with Lomachenko, okay, how do you beat Tank? Lomachenko is a very slow starter. That's the problem. That's what caused him a few fights. He barely beat Jermaine Ortiz because he started late in that fight, which I didn't think he beat Jermaine Ortiz. Okay, he got started late with Devin Haney. He didn't get going. It was a back and forth fight with Devin Haney, but I thought Devin Haney was controlling Lomachenko with the body shots. The fight with George Linares was, I think on the scorecards, I think George Linares was in striking range. So imagine what somebody like Tank is going to do to Lomachenko. So the question is, once again, you have to ask that question. Is Bob Arum going to put Lomachenko in the ring with Tank? At the end of the day, we got to keep it 100. They don't want to see Lomachenko get knocked out by no black fighter. They don't want, and listen, they could stomach Lomachenko finishing on his feet and saying that, hey, we thought the fight with Devin Haney was a robbery, or we thought Devin Haney lost that fight, but they don't want to see a meme of Lomachenko. They don't want to see a meme of Lomachenko laying flat on his back or laying face forward like Manny Pacquiao. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt these racists and these white supremacists and these anti black fighter channels and these coon channels. Listen, we all know Tank got dynamite in both of his hands. That is without a shadow of a doubt. Tank got dynamite in both his hands, and Tank got a good chin too. Like I said, I think the Lomachenko fight might be interesting. I think he may force Lomachenko to fight out of his comfort zone. But if Lomachenko starts late, he gonna suffer a late stoppage. Lomachenko's best chance against Tank is to get going right away. And that still may not help him. I just think my own personal opinion, I just don't think they're gonna let. I don't know. I got to see what happens the next time I cover a Top Rank event, but they're gonna ask Bob Arum eventually, is he serious about making the Lomachenko fight? Now, if this Lomachenko's retirement fight, which this will be Lomachenko, listen, this will be Lomachenko's retirement fight. When Tank knocks out Lomachenko, people gonna say Tank, oh, he waited till Lomachenko got old, and Lomachenko, Lomachenko went to go fight a war, so his head wasn't in the right place. Listen, you're gonna hear every excuse in the book, but I'm telling you, Lomachenko get knocked out. He ain't gonna be no different from Leo Santa Cruz. He ain't gonna be no different from both of the Garcias. He ain't gonna be no different from Frank Martin. Yeah, the problem was that's the key word. The fight was competitive early on, but as I said before, did anybody in their right mind give Frank Martin a chance? I think the problem is with Tank. Now that I think about it, if Tank beats Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, and Teofimo Lopez, and he beats all those dudes, well, what is there left for Tank to do? Maybe Tank should go try his hand at a higher weight class. Maybe Tank should skip welterweight. Maybe Tank should skip 140 and go up to welterweight. I think Tank could have some success at welterweight, because if he beats all those dudes at 140, why worry about now? I can tell you, I don't think Tank is gonna be able to do nothing with Boots. Boots is just too fucking big for Tank. Terrence Crawford, come on, man. But after what I saw today, Tank will knock out Blair the Flair Cobb. He'll knock Blair the Flair Cobb out probably in 4 rounds. Bob ain't listen. Don't be stupid. I don't mean to call you stupid or not. Listen, dude, I apologize for calling you stupid. Bob ain't putting Tank in the ring with in a way. He not putting it. Listen, I can tell you right now, Bob's somewhere telling my man, it's no fucking way we're making that fight. Y'all have to understand how boxing works. And I'm gonna tell you now, Tank is not gonna go to Japan and fight Ngannou, because he gonna say, I'm a star in America. I sell out fights in America. I sell out. Why would I have to go out there? And then Tank could easily get Turkey Al-Sheikh to put up $100 million for Tank versus anyway. So no. I just think Bob is not going to make that fight. Tank will destroy the monster. He's chinny. Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. The monster is a good fighter, but that's a 3-round fight. May not even last 3 rounds. If Tank really get going, Tank may carry him, but Tank will brutally knock out anyway in 3 rounds. It'll be a cakewalk, and people will be saying it's a mismatch, and Tank will be that once again. Tank will be despised for taking a fight like that. So I could tell you now, Bob Arum is right now going no way. And then he's probably with hesitation, like, should we put Lomachenko in the ring with him? And Tank already said Tank already said that he's not going to Japan. He said he's not going to Japan. So how that's gonna work? Well, listen. Did anybody hear what I've been saying ever since this fight got announced? So basically, Frank Martin took $500,000 to just get brutally knocked out, compared to the 1.3 he could have made fighting Shakur Stevenson. He's not getting any pay-per-view money. He's not getting a percentage of the gate, and he's not getting any back-end money. And when I heard people saying that if Al Heyman didn't want to give Terrence Crawford originally no back-end money, and talking about, well, we'll pay you off the pay-per-view sales. So if Terrence Crawford couldn't get any back end money, if what makes you think Frank got pay-per-view and the gate and back end money? Now that $500,000 he got was probably all he got. But at the end of the day, that's why he got talked out of that fight. Now Frank Martin, he'll get some work, but let's just be honest. Frank Martin come on, man. Frank Martin was fighting in ballrooms. His last fight was in a ballroom. And that's just real talk. He had no negotiating power with Tank, and that's why the deal happened that happened. $500,000. He had to take random drug tests, but it's a question of whether Tank did or he didn't. So that's that. I mean, that's just pretty much it. I mean, did the fight live up to expectations? I don't know. Was there any expectations? How can a fight have expectations? And this is the knock on Tank. How can you have any expectations for a fight when you knew what was going to happen? There wasn't nothing exciting and intriguing about this fight. Everybody knew that Tank was going to knock Frank Martin out. We all knew it. So, of course, the Tank fans will say, hey, man, that was a great fight, man. That was a great fight. Well, okay, great fight by what kind of standards? Because it was predictable? It was a great fight because it was predictable. Nothing was intriguing about it. At least with David Benavidez versus Canelo, it would be intriguing because some people still believe that Canelo would put together enough to be able to defeat David Benavidez. And then you look at David Benavidez as the young phenom, the young guy that's trying to take the crown, that's ready to get the torch passed on to him by Canelo and be that next great Mexican fighter. So it would be some intrigue to that fight. Even though I would favor David Benavidez to win that fight, but it would still be some intrigue. What was intriguing about this? This is the problem. Tank is doing what Floyd Mayweather did. Floyd Mayweather fought dudes that many of us believed that he could beat, except for Manny Pacquiao. Floyd, to be honest with you, ever since Floyd never fought no fight post Diego Corrales that you didn't think that he wasn't gonna win. Even with Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd was a heavy favorite or a favorite in every fight that he became Floyd Mayweather. The only fight that people thought that he might have a chance to lose was Manny Pacquiao. So between Diego Corrales and Manny Pacquiao, Floyd wasn't in any intriguing fights. Hey, at the end of the day, Floyd was a great fighter. Can't take that away from him. But you seeing the same thing with Tank. What is out there for Tank? We don't want to see no more of these fights. We don't, like I said before, we want Tank to be in an intriguing fight. We want to see him in there with the guys like Shakur. We want to see him beat Frank Martin. Isn't a pound for pound fighter. Now Lomachenko, and some people's eyes, was a pound for pound fighter. I never thought Lomachenko was a pound for pound fighter. I never thought Lomachenko was a pound for pound fighter, but the masses said he was, and we all know why that was. So now the next question is, okay, when is the fans gonna demand that Tank fight better competition? Frank Martin wasn't on anybody's pound for pound list. Once again, this was a fight that nobody asked for, nobody was checking for, but he got the job did. Well, Tank say he don't really care about belts. To me, I'm gonna tell you probably what's gonna happen. Tank is probably going to fight Lomachenko. Then maybe then maybe Shakur Stevenson, maybe, but I don't know. But Shakur Stevenson got a fight coming up, so we need to see that dominant Shakur Stevenson. We cannot see the Shakur Stevenson that we saw in November. Okay, we can't see that Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson got to go in there, show up, show out. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised even if Tank fights Lomachenko, he circles back around to a Isaac Cruz or fights El Rayo. So I wouldn't be making plans for a Shakur Stevenson fight right away. Because here's the thing though. It's the same thing was what happened at one time with Triple G. Triple G, at one time, he was selling out arenas to basically fight nobodies or fight dudes that we knew he was going to beat. And this is why I don't think much of Triple G, because Triple G never really fought a competitive fight in his life, except the exception of Canelo. And then he had that life or death fight with Daniel Jacobs that a lot of people thought that he possibly lost. So we just gonna have to see. Well, I do think that Cruz or El Rayo is in the cards, but I just think he'll probably circle the block. I think that depending on how long Ryan Garcia is out, I think that Ryan Garcia, listen, even though Tank knocked out Ryan Garcia, I think if they fight at 147, I think people will still be stupid enough to buy Tank versus Ryan Garcia too, thinking that the results is going to be the same. And all that's going to happen is Tank is going to knock out Ryan Garcia again. Well, you may have to see, well, it don't matter what we won't do. They going to put, listen, I keep saying this as my good friend Kenny Bayless told me. Kenny Porter told me, boxing is a business. Does Tank, here's the thing, for real, does Tank have to fight Shakur Stevenson? Did you see that arena? That arena was packed. Did you see Tank bring out the celebrities? He brings football players, basketball players, MMA fighters. So at the end of the day, does he really have to fight Shakur Stevenson right away? Does he really have to fight Devin Haney right away? Because if he can sell out an arena fighting Frank Martin, you have to understand, why put him in a risky fight? Now I do think he'll fight Lomachenko, because Lomachenko is every bit of 36 years old, but we know what's going to happen. Lomachenko is going to suffer the same fate. He's going to suffer the same fate that Frank Martin suffered. He's going to get knocked out. No, I'm just trying to, y'all have to remember, I know these things. I'm a member of the media. I go to fights. We can sit up there and want Tank to fight the best guys. Yeah, Tank say that he's going to fight all those dudes, but his advisors, they're going to say, listen, yeah, Tank may say, okay, yeah, I want Shakur Stevenson next. I want Devin Haney. I want Teofimo Lopez. But you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, well, Tank, you sold out the MGM Grand fighting Frank Martin. And you was an overwhelming favorite. We don't have to make the Shakur Stevenson fight right now. So they'll push the Shakur Stevenson fight to the back end, or ever. Once again, if you could sell 16,000 tickets, 17,000 tickets fighting somebody like Frank Martin, why would you put him in the ring with Shakur Stevenson? Why not an Isaac Cruz rematch or El Rayo fight? because at the end of the day, both of those fighters are Mexican. So the Mexican fighters will come watch that fight with a false sense of hope, thinking that Isaac Cruz or El Rayo might have a chance of winning just because they Mexican, and then Tank will knock both of them out. Tank is gonna knock Isaac Cruz out when they fight again, cause he fucked up one of his hands. Isaac Cruz is gonna get his ass knocked out. Tank is gonna neuter the pit bull, trust me. And if it's El Rayo, he'll knock El Rayo out. So, just saying. Hey dude, check this out, bro. Get the fuck off my channel, okay? Shut the fuck up talking stupid shit before I block your bitch ass. Don't worry about why I'm standing somewhere, bitch. Now say something else stupid and watch me block your ass, bitch. It's always these cornballs that come on here. Okay, so you wanted attention. You just got your ass cooked. Now say something else and watch me cook your ass again and run you off my channel. I mean, I'll give you my address if you nearby and you can see what's in my trunk. I'll be more than happy to introduce you to what's inside my trunk since you talking shit. You want my address so you can see why I'm standing outside? You want my address? Come on, say something else. You want my address so you can see what's inside my trunk? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nah, bro, you want me to drop my location so you can see what's in my trunk? And it's not a bumper jack neither. Show goofy ass out of here, dude. It's always somebody like trying to be funny and stuff. But since you trying to talk shit, I'll drop my location. So you can see, and I'll tell you exactly where I'm standing, and you can see why I'm standing outside. Fucking clown. Jeez. It's always one. I'm trying to have a good stream, and it's always some idiot that come on here and say something stupid. Why are you standing out? Like, why the fuck you care? Like, like for real. Listen, Noah, I can't explain what happened with the drug testing. I just find it mighty weird that Frank had to do VADA testing and it was documented, but Tank didn't have to disclose whether he did VADA testing or not because he doesn't trust VADA. And at the end of the day, Tank looking real weak right now. You know, feeling sorry for Ryan Garcia, who basically cheated, and every lie that he's told been exposed. And then you had a lot of these black fighters sitting up here cooning it up, going against the grain. And like I said, Gary Anton Russell got his karma today. Well, David Benavidez did as well as he could for his. I mean, people got to understand, I think sometimes in boxing, we think when a dude move up and weight, he just supposed to come in there out the gate and just have this impressive knockout. That doesn't happen or work with everybody. It's no guarantee that Terrence Crawford is going to knock out this dude that he's fighting. So I think David Benavidez did as well as he could do. I mean, he clearly won the fight. And Boslick looked well over 200 pounds. Well, Devin Haney, he got to take care of business if I'm not mistaken, he has to start negotiations with Sandor Martin this week. I've talked to Team Haney. Devin Haney will, in all likelihood, fight again this year. I do know the location. Devin Haney will be fighting in the Bay Area, from what I've been told. Devin Haney will be fighting at either the Oakland Arena, or he will be fighting at the Chase Center again versus Sandor Martin. I don't think David Benavidez is quite a heavyweight. I do think that he probably could comfortably, once his body gets set at 175, I do think he could probably fight at cruiserweight. But see, here's the problem. There's no money at cruiserweight. For some reason, cruiserweight is just, I don't know. It's just a division nobody is just checking for. It's just no money. It's just no money at cruiserweight. Either you stay at 175, or you just skip cruiserweight and go up to heavyweight. Because it's just no money. It's just no money up there. It's just no multi-million-dollar fights. That's just, I don't know. It's damn near, it's damn near like a minor league before you could move up to heavyweight. It's just never been a eye-catching division, unfortunately. Nobody cares about, nobody cares about cruiserweight whatsoever. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I don't even care about cruiserweight. So I can't sit up there. Well, I mean, you entitled to your opinion, but we gonna have to see. All right, you guys, got to go in here and do a stream right quick with somebody else.